हेलो एवरीवन, कैसे हो आप लोग। माई सेल्फ चेतन गर्ग, आई एम मास्टर टीचर here at Vedantu. I welcome you to our RMO flashback series. In today's lecture, we will be discussing first three questions of year 1995. One of these questions is from geometry and the other two are from number theory, right? And before starting the session, I'll just give you one information that currently here at Vedantu, we are running pre-RMO, RMO and INMO batches. Those who have not appeared for pre-RMO or unfortunately have not cleared pre-RMO exam last year, they can simply visit our website olympia.vedantu.com. Here they will get each and every information regarding pre-RMO batches. And those who have already cleared either pre-RMO or RMO exam, they should just mail me their name, their class, their contact number, their address along with the proof that you have cleared either of these exams on this email ID chetan.garg@vedantu.com. Even if you have any other academic achievement, like if you have cleared NTSC or any other competitive exam, you can also mention that in the mail, right? And those who have cleared pre-RMO, we will directly enroll you to RMO batch, and those who have cleared RMO, we will directly enroll you to INMO batch, right? And all these batches are completely free of cost. You do not need to pay even a single rupee to enroll in these batches, right? So let's start our session. Let's take a look on the first question of year 1991. Right, as you can see that this question is from geometry, right? The question states that in a triangle ABC, K and L are points on the side BC, K being closer to B than L, okay, such that BC into KL, that is actually equal to BK times CL, right? BK into CL, and AL bisects angle KAC, right? We need to prove that AL is perpendicular to AB, right? So let's first draw the figure of this question, right? So let's assume that this is triangle ABC, right? And KL and are 2 points on the side BC, K being closer to B than L, okay? So this should be K and this should be L as it is mentioned in the question. And this AL is bisecting angle KAC as it has written here. So if this is theta, this should also be theta, right? And we need to prove that AL is perpendicular to AB, okay? So we need to prove that AL is perpendicular to AB, and this is giving a lot of hints, okay? In fact, one condition is also mentioned that this is also equal, right? So BC into KL, that is actually equal to BK into CL, right? That is mentioned in the question, right? So we can say that if we divide by BC, then we can say that BK upon this BC, right? BK upon BC, that will be actually equal to KL upon CL or LC, right? Right, and since in triangle AKC, AL is the angle bisector, so angle bisector divides the opposite side in the ratio of the sides containing the angle. This is a simple property of angle bisector. So we can say that this KL upon LC, that should also be equal to AK upon AC, right? But that was also equal to BK upon BC. So combining these two, we can easily say that this BK upon BC, that will be actually equal to AK upon AC, right? So since AB is dividing KC in the ratio of the sides containing AK and AC, so this will imply that AB is the external angle bisector, as it is dividing KC externally, right? So AB is the external angle bisector of what? Bisector of angle KAC, ठीक है? तो KAC जो भी एंगल होगा, right? इसका external angle bisector is this AB, right? So this angle alpha will be equal to alpha, right? So as you can see that in a linear the sum of angles are equal, so twice of alpha plus theta, that should be 180, so which will simply imply that alpha plus theta is 90 degree. So we can say that this AB is perpendicular to AL, right? This is what we need to prove. So that was a basic concept of internal angle bisector and external angle bisector, right? The property is internal angle bisector divides the opposite side internally in the ratio of the sides containing the angle, that is this KL upon LC, that will be equal to AK upon AC. एंड एक्सटर्नल एंगल बाइसेक्टर प्रॉपर्टी क्या है कि एक्सटर्नल एंगल बाइसेक्टर विल डिवाइड द ऑपोजिट साइड एक्सटर्नली इन द अगेन इन द रेशियो ऑफ द साइड्स कंटेनिंग द एंगल. एंड जैसा हमने क्लियरली देखा है कि एंगल बिटवीन any two angle bisectors of any two lines will be 90 degree, right? If you take any two lines and if you draw the angle bisector of these two lines, right, they will always be perpendicular. So this is what we need to prove. So as you can see, that was the very easy question from year 1995, right? So let's proceed to the next question. Question number 2, right? Okay, as you can see that this question seems to be from number theory, right? It is saying that call a positive integer n good if there are n integers, positive or negative, and not necessarily distinct, right? Such that their sum and product both are equal to n. Okay, for example, it is saying that 8 is a good because it has written 8 in the product of these 8 numbers. As you can see, these are 8 in numbers, and obviously their sum of these 8 numbers is also 8, right? So a number will be good if it can be written as a product of 8 numbers whose sum are also equals to the given number, right? So in that scenario, the number will be considered as good. Now we need to prove something. We need to prove that the integers which are of the form 4k plus 1 and 4l, okay, l greater than or equal to 2, they will be good, right? This is what we need to prove, right? So let's first take the case of 4k plus 1, right? Alright, 4k plus 1 seems to be very easy. We can write 4k plus 1 as 4k plus 1 into now product should also be 4k plus 1 and sum should also be 4k plus 1, and number of such numbers should also be 4k plus 1, right? So we have used 4k plus 1 here, so we are left with 4k numbers, and the product of these numbers should be 1. So either we can use integers 1 or minus 1. So if we multiply 1 into 1 into 1, let's say these are 2k times 1, and minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1, these are also, let's assume these are also how many times? These are also 2k times, okay? So the sum is clearly 4k plus 1 plus these two will obviously got cancelled out, so the sum is clearly equal to 4k plus 1, and the product, as you can see, 4k plus 1 into 1 power anything, that will be 1, and this is even power of minus 1, so that will also be 1. So product is clearly also 4k plus 1, okay? So we can easily write 4k plus 1 as kya? One number is 4k plus 1 followed by 2k ones, right? And that will be followed by 2k minus 1s, right? So I hope this is clear. 4k plus 1 we can easily write, and they will be considered as good numbers, right? So let's see how we will write 4l, right? Okay, so let's consider 4l, right? And okay, 8 is clearly of the form 4l. Let's take some hint from this number. This is writing as 4 into 2 followed by some 1 and minus 1, right? So we will write here as what you said, 12 into 2, right, followed by some 1s and by some minus 1s, right? So this is what we need to decode, that how many 1s should be there and how many minus 1 should be there, right? And we also need the sum to be 4l and we also need the product to be 4l, right? Okay, let's discuss this thing. We have used two numbers, so how many numbers are remaining? Numbers left, that will be how much? 4l minus 2. 4l minus 2 numbers are remaining, right? Perfect. And what is the sum which is left? Sum left is, we have already used 2l plus 2, and the sum left will be 4l minus 2l plus 2, so that will be 2l minus 2. This is the sum remaining, and this is the numbers left that will be filled by either 1s or minus 1, right? We also need to take care one thing, that these numbers should be even in numbers. Reason? Because only then the product will be positive, which will be equal to 4l, If these are odd in numbers, then the product will be minus 4L, right? So we also need to take a good care of negative numbers, negative minus ones, right? Okay, so let's make some calculation. If we take number of ones as let's assume if we take them as 3k minus 2 and number of minus 1 as simply 3l minus 2, because we have taken L here, and the number of minus 1 as L. So as you can see, the sum will be 2l minus 2, which is required, and the total numbers which we have used is 3l minus 2 plus L, which will be 4l minus 2. So this thing will satisfy these two conditions, but we also need to check that these numbers are even in numbers, negative numbers are, and we have assumed that minus 1s are L, right? So okay, so if L is even, then we are done. I hope this is clear. If L is even, then minus 1s will be even in number, right? And hence the product will be positive, and the product will be obviously 4L, and the sum will also be 4L. And then these numbers are also 4L in numbers. Two numbers are there, 3L minus 2 numbers are 1s, and L numbers are minus 1s. So if L is even, if this L is even, then we are done, right? Now we need to prove prove only one thing, that what if L is odd, right? This is what we need to prove. Let's take a look on this thing, right? If L is odd, okay, if L is odd, let's say previously we have written 4L as 2L into 2. Let's write it as minus 2, because now we will require negative numbers in odd numbers, right? Followed by some ones that we need to decode, how many ones are there, followed by some minus ones, again that we need to decode how many ones and how many minus ones will be needed, right? All right, so we have used only two numbers, right? And their product is clearly minus 4. So in this scenario, we need this in how many numbers? In odd numbers. And also our L is also odd, right? All right, so numbers remaining, how many numbers are remaining? We have used only two numbers, we need total 4L numbers. So numbers which are remaining is 4L minus 2, right? And what is the sum remaining? Till now the sum is 2L minus 2, and we need to form the sum as 4L. So the sum remaining is 2L plus 2, right? Now we need to figure out how many ones and how many minus 1 will serve the purpose, right? So if we take number of ones as let's see, that will be, if we take this as 3k, okay, we need this as sums are, okay, so that should be k minus, okay, L, okay, here it is L. If we take this as L, and if we take it as L minus 2, what? Number of minus ones, right? If we take number of minus ones as L minus 2 and number of ones are 3L, at least the total numbers are 4L minus 2, and some will be 2L plus 2, and in fact these are also odd in number because L is odd, right? Initially we have assumed that L is odd, so L minus 2 will also be odd, and we are actually we need minus 1 in odd in numbers, because initially we have used minus 1 minus over here, right? So only odd number of minus 1 will make the product 4L, right? So this will serve the purpose. Let's take 3L ones and L minus 2 minus ones, and one number will be 2L, so one number will be minus 2, right? So in this scenario we can actually make 4L good in both the scenarios, in as well as in L when L is odd, as well as when L is even, right? So we, in fact, if I revise this question, okay, we have done this in three parts. First we have proved for 4k plus 1, that was very easy, right? After that we started proving for 4L. Here we have made two cases, one when L is even, right? In this scenario we have done that, and if L is odd, then we have done this thing, right? So this is a good question as far as number theory is concerned, especially this L when L is even and L is odd part, right? Okay, I hope this question is clear now, right? Let's move to the next question, question number 3. Okay, this again is from number theory. The question says that we need to prove that among any 18 consecutive 3-digit numbers, there is at least one number which is divisible by sum of its digits, right? And as soon as the question says that divisible by sum of its digits, there is one concept which strike, I guess, each and every mind, that a number will be divisible by 9 when its sum of its digits are divisible by 9, right? सो डिविजिबिलिटी रूल ऑफ 9 ऑब्वियसली स्ट्राइक्स है ना, जैसे ही हम ये क्वेश्चन को पढ़ते हैं. तो लेट्स कंसिडर एनी 3-digit नंबर, राइट? सो द मिनिमम सम विल बी 1, right? Because 100 is the shortest 3-digit number, so its sum of digits will be 1, and the largest 3-digit number is 999, and its sum of digits will be 27, right? So sum of digits will vary from obviously 1 to 27, right? And in fact 27 is formed by only one number, which is 999, and in fact 1 is also formed by only one number, which is again 100, right? Okay, among 18 consecutive 3-digit numbers, you can easily say that there will be two numbers which will be divisible by 9. I hope this is automatically clear, है ना? If you take any 18 consecutive numbers, two numbers will be divisible by 9, right? And the divisibility rule says of 9 says that sum of its digits should be divisible by 9, right? So sum of the digits, that can be either 9 or 18 or 27, right? These are the three possibilities for these two numbers, that their sum of digits will be either 9 or 18 or 27. Let's take if the sum of digits is 27, right? Then the only number possible is 999, right? If you calculate 999 itself is divisible by 27, because 999 upon 9, that will give us 111, right? And 111 is again divisible by 3. So if 999 is one of the number, that is if sum of the digits is 27, then the number will be divisible by 27, right? So that is what we need to prove, right? So let's ignore this case. Now consider if sum of the digits is 9, right? Now if sum of the digits is 9, then it is obviously divisible by 9, right? So that also again proves the question, right? So we need to check only this case when sum of the digits is 18, right? If sum of the digits is 18 for both the numbers, right, then we need to prove that they will be divisible by 18, right? So as you can see that among 18 consecutive numbers, one number will definitely be divisible by 18, and that should be from one of these numbers which are divisible by 9. So that particular number which is divisible by 18 will serve our property, that that particular number will always be divisible by sum of its digits, right? I hope this is pretty much clear now, right? We have made three cases. First we have considered that there will be two numbers which will be divisible by 9 among the 18 consecutive 3-digit numbers, right? And I hope this is very obvious that there will be exactly two numbers which will be divisible by 9 among the 18 consecutive numbers, right? Now we are considering only these two numbers. We are considering the sum of digits of only these two numbers. The sum of digits can be 9, it can be 18, it can be 27, right? We have then considered what if the sum of digits is 27, then it is automatically fulfilled by only one number, and that is obviously divisible by 27. So if sum of digits is 27, then we are done. We have proved that at least one digit is divisible by sum of its digits. Similarly, if sum of digits of any one of these two numbers is 9, then again we are done, because divisibility rule of 9 says that sum of its digits should be divisible by 9, right? So we are left with only one case. What if the sum of both these numbers is 18, right? So 18 is divisible by 9, but we need to prove that this is divisible by 18. So what we have done, we have stated that among 18 consecutive numbers, there will exactly be one number which is divisible by 18, and that will obviously be divisible by 9, and hence that should be there in these two numbers, and that particular number hence will be divisible by sum of its digits, right? So as you can see that this question does not involve any calculation. This does not this question just involves some logic, right? So you just need to write down that logic in the paper and we are done, right? So these are the three questions from year 1995. I hope you are clear with all these three questions, and that's it from today's session. Before ending the session, I'll give you one information that I have already given at the start of the session also, that currently here at Vedantu we are running pre-RMO, RMO and INMO batches. Those who have already cleared pre-RMO, we will enroll you to RMO batch, and those who have already cleared RMO, we will simply enroll you to INMO batch. All you need to do is just mail me these details on this email ID chetan.garg@vedantu.com. So we will see you in the next session. In the next session, we will discuss next two questions of year 1995. Thank you. Bye bye.